So welcome back guys to We Talk Boxing, and in this video I'm going to be talking about Shakur Stevenson and his latest performance against Josh Padley. Now this was one of the undercard fights which saw the main event between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev go ahead. Now first off, it was very good to see Shakur Stevenson back in the ring. We know he had a hand injury last year, and that's why the Cordina fight was cancelled. So this was his first fight back, and he looked impressive at times, very impressive. So yeah, it was good to see him back. Couple of negatives, and I'll talk about that in a second. But first off, I want to give, I mean, congratulations or hats off to Josh Padley. Splendid performance from him, to be fair. He came in this fight, was it 2-3 days notice, took the fight because Floyd Schofield obviously pulled out with illness or injury or whatever it was. So Josh Padley stepped in, and apparently I don't know a lot about Josh Padley, so I'm just going to go with what I pretty much heard. Josh Padley was ranked higher than Schofield in the rankings. Just having a look at the rankings now. So having a look. Yeah, so in the WBC, Josh Padley was ranked. I think these could have probably been updated. No, they're not. He was ranked number 12, and Schofield was 13 in the WBC rankings. Now, yeah, as I said, hats off goes to Josh Padley. Done very well. Was quick, sharp. He tried to take the fight to Shakur Stevenson. He tried to catch him with some good shots and counters. But one thing that I was very impressed with Josh Padley is that he looked quite durable at times, and he went down 3 times in the last round. 3 times in the last round, and each time he was very disappointed with himself. And prior to that, prior to that 9th round, his corner said, so after the 8th round, his corner said to him, "Look, we're going to give you one more round because you're taking a lot of punishment, and let's see what you could do, see what you could give us, and if it's not enough, we're going to pull you out." And that's pretty much what they did, because he went down 3 times in that round. Referee probably would have stopped it anyway, but as he got back up onto his feet, the corner threw the towel in. So it was a very good stoppage at the time. But as I said, Josh Padley was very disappointed in himself to go down with the shots that he went down with. But I don't think it was the shots that done the damage. I think it was the accumulation of the punches. Now, from the whole performance from a Shakur Stevenson point of view, as I said at the start of the video, it's very good to see him back in the ring. He looked very sharp. He's got good boxing ability, got good movement, got good defense. I think he just lacks with power. That's my only criticism with him at this moment in time. Now, I know power's not everything, because when you've got speed, you've got accumulation of punching, you've got skill, you've got speed, you've got head movement, you've got everything else, you can sometimes nullify other opponents. But I do think that at some point with Shakur Stevenson, he's going to come up against someone who has similar to him, but they've got that little bit more in terms of power. And we all know that Gervonta Tank Davis is probably probably the main man in the division. Now, Davis has okay boxing skills. I'd say personally that Shakur Stevenson's probably got the better boxing skills, but if he was to fight in that fight, my money's going on Tank Davis all day, because at some point he's going to catch up with you. At some point he's going to land on you. How are you going to take that? And we haven't saw that at this moment in time in Shakur Stevenson's career. Now, another Davis which looks good as well, and I watched his recent performance, was Keyshawn. Now, Keyshawn looks good. He looks like he's got a little bit of power about him as well. Looks like he could actually stop people. So he's a good prospect. So there's some good fights in this lightweight division. Big names as well. And hopefully, touch wood, later on this year, we can maybe see Lomachenko come back. Don't know what's going on with him. I think there's some sort of injury, but maybe there's some sort of psychological things going on in the background, or maybe some personal problems. We don't know. But this division is stacked. Now, it's, as I said, it's very good to see Shakur back, because we always want talent, to stay in the division. And at some point, a lot of these big names that I've mentioned are going to move up. They're going to move up to that 140 division. And then Those that are young enough, those that are big enough, will move up to 147. So the division is stacked. It's probably the best division in boxing at the minute, I would say, for the fights that we want to see, the credibility, the opponents, the opposition. It's class. But yeah, it was just good to see Shakur Stevenson back in the ring, and yes, he took on someone like a Josh Padley. A lot of people will be like, well, we should have been able to have got Josh Padley out there a lot sooner. But honestly, if you watch the fight, I was watching the fight, and Shakur, Stevenson didn't want to get him out there. He wanted to punish Josh Padley. Um, and it was kind of like that fight reminded me of how Mayweather, when you used to watch the 24/7 Mayweather shows, how these fighters used to go up against each other in the gym. You know what I mean? You hit me 2 times, I'm going to hit you back 4 times. You hit me 4 times, I'm going to hit you back 6 or 8 times. It was that sort of fight, and Shakur Stevenson was calling for Josh Padley to come forward and hit him because he wanted to give him some back. He was like, look, I know you could hit me, you could catch me, but can you take my shot, sort of thing. And that's what the fight looked like to me. But yeah, good. It was a good fight on a brilliant bill. Um, Josh Padley has a future. I'm not sure whether or not that's the world level, but it's certainly British level, maybe even Commonwealth or European. He's got something, this Josh Padley. He looks quite decent, just not at that world level. Shakur Stevenson, we obviously want to see him in there with some big names and some big fights, and there's plenty. So let's wait and see what happens with this Schofield guy, if they can maybe get that fight going on again. If not, you know what I mean, it's bigger names in that division. Could he take on maybe a Davis, that's Keyshawn, or maybe even Javante, maybe a Loma later in the year, Zepeda, Cruz, Martin? There's massive names in this division. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How did you see this fight? And yeah, what do you believe that Shakur Stevenson should do next in terms of his boxing career? And what about Josh Padley? Where should he go next? Should he stay on this level, this world level? Should he drop back down to maybe British or Commonwealth? As always, please subscribe and comment. Bless.